There is no single thing that he has done in that entire career that is a greater or more consequential act of service and sacrifice to this country.
Girl, the American public were getting boring every night with your MSNBC show. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Go outside and talk to real people. She is so out of touch with ordinary people. It is amazing.
Oh gosh, Ana Kasparian continues wreaking havoc on the woke left, and today she did not hold back. And today she's actually targeting Rachel Maddow, I don't know, the girl with the boy haircut, the girl that looks like Michael Knowles when he has glasses on. Anyways, let's just get straight into today's video because it's a muy bien one, a very good one.
There a world in which Democrats should have a backup plan for Joe Biden?
A backup plan?
If he needed to be replaced on the ticket. If we're 3 months out and Trump's still beating him in Michigan, Pennsylvania, Georgia, Arizona, North Carolina.
I mean, I think the backup plan is run a better campaign. Biden hasn't been disqualified from running for the presidency by anything having to do with any of his performance. It's just that it's going to be a tough fight.
Yeah.
And so I think the backup plan is fight harder.
Yeah.
The backup plan is make sure you win the Senate. The backup plan is people should volunteer earlier and do more and give more money and do all of those things.
That was MSNBC host Rachel Maddow back in June of 2024. And keep that in mind when you consider that Semaphore spoke to key media figures across digital, print, and legacy media, Republicans and Democrats, to discuss the things that they got wrong in 2024. And judging by that video you just watched, Rachel Maddow did get some things wrong. The question is, did she learn a damn thing about it?
I'll tell you the answer, guys, real quick. Spoiler alert, no. She did not learn a single thing from it, but maybe, I don't know, how to be more, I don't know, I can't say it. We'll move on.
Well, rather than citing her real mistakes and terrible predictions, she actually ended up blaming her audience.
Of course.
So here's her statement to Semaphore. She said, I thought people would be more unnerved by J.D. Vance, less the cat lady thing and more the Americans are going to have to get over the dictator phobia Mencius Moldbug thing. Now, if you're unfamiliar with Mencius Moldbug, that's a pseudonym for Curtis Yarvin, who followed for years. And Curtis Yarvin is someone who's against liberal democracy and is in favor of a monarchy, though he seems to have a tough time defending that position. Cenk Uygur actually interviewed him about it, and it was embarrassing if you ask me. But on October 1st, Gallup released the following poll comparing voter ratings between Tim Walz, who was the VP pick for Kamala Harris, and J.D. Vance. And yeah, I mean, she is right that people didn't seem to fear J.D. Vance as much as she was hoping for. So at that point in time, in October of 2024, less than half of registered voters nationally had a positive view of Tim Walz or J.D. Vance. A combined 46% rate Walz as either an excellent or pretty good choice versus 41% for J.D. Vance. And despite Walz's slight lead on this measure, the two were equally likely to be rated as poor choices. Just under 4 in 10 voters see each as such. So she is right that people didn't buy into the fear-mongering about J.D. Vance as much as she hoped for, but to kind of pivot to what she believes her audience got wrong, or the Democratic voters got wrong, or voters in general got wrong, instead of taking ownership of the things she got wrong, is kind of amazing. But what do you think, Cenk?
Yeah, so I mean, look, even that quote is telling because it's indecipherable.
By the way, comment chunky yogurt's expiration date for the algorithm. And if you like videos like this, make sure you like and subscribe. It helps boost the channel a lot, and we'll get right back into it.
To the average person. And over dictatorphobia, Mencius Moldbug thing. What are you talking about? So look, I interviewed Curtis Yarvin, as Anna pointed out, so I know what she's talking about. The average person doesn't. And nobody knows about Curtis Yarvin. And yeah, he's comical and ridiculous, and that's why I'm worried about J.D. Vance and Donald Trump, and that's why I voted against them. But the average guy doesn't know that Curtis Yarvin is in favor of a monarchy, which is actually a dictatorship, which is what J.D. Vance was, the fact that J.D. Vance is in favor of that is problematic, etc. So, one, out of touch with what actual human beings are going through. They're worried about gas prices and food prices. They're not worried about Mencius mold bug, who they've never heard of. And secondly, and even more importantly, she's saying, damn it, the fear mongering didn't work.
Yeah, totally. That's exactly right. I mean, it's amazing that, look, I'm always amazed at the, I guess, allergic reaction to any self-reflection at all. It's okay to admit that you got things wrong. It's actually admirable when people admit, especially people in media who are supposed to be.
Agreed. I'm happy to admit when I'm wrong. As a woman, I'm wrong very often.
You know, sharing accurate information. It's okay to say, look, I got that wrong. In fact, we're going to give you examples of people who actually did take ownership, and I give them a lot of credit for that. It builds credibility when you're willing to admit when you've gotten something wrong. And by the way, remember, this is what she said when Joe Biden ultimately ended up dropping out of the presidential race.
Just thinking about the president right now, you know, what a man, what a patriot. What an act of selfless devotion to your country. And he has been a phenomenal president. He ended the presidency of Donald Trump at one disastrous term. And he did it while being decent and civil and honorable and normal and occasionally boring at a time when boring was absolutely what we needed. And I just, his career of decades in public service as a senator and as a very successful vice president and as a phenomenally successful president, there is no single thing that he has done in that entire career that is a greater or more consequential act of service and sacrifice to this country.
Girl, the American public were getting boring every night with your MSNBC show. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Go outside and talk to real people. She is so out of touch with ordinary people. It is amazing.
Yeah, Rachel Maddow deserves a case study on how out of touch she is when it comes to the American people. It is freaking sane. Yeah, Joe Biden, what a stellar president. You got that, girl. You go, girl. Girl power. Anyways, if you laughed today, make sure you subscribe, like today's video, and comment an orange heart if you made it to the end. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.